What's up, guys? Reapshow here. So today I'm going to be doing a ranking of every single Michael Myers face reveal from the worst to the best. Now, when I was going through this, I realized there were actually a lot more reveals of his face than I really would have thought initially. I will be including both reveals of him as a kid and obviously reveals of him as an adult, as well as a few honorable mentions as well. So let's kick things off here with a couple honorable mentions. The first one is young Michael Myers in the Halloween TV cut. Mainly because it's just not in the theatrical cut. That's the only reason I don't really include it in the official list here. So he is played by Will Sandin, the same kid that played him in the opening scene where you see Michael in the clown outfit and they take the mask off, and that's the same actor, right? So I thought that was pretty cool that they used the same actor. I really do like those scenes. I really like how just still and he's just staring out the window. It really fits what you think might, because it's like we're going off of not a whole lot of context as to we're just going based off of what Loomis has said. You know, if you have not seen the TV cut, your knowledge is really what Loomis is giving you, right? And when you kind of see more of it, it's really interesting, and it's pretty much what you think it's gonna be. And I like that. I really do like that. So that is why he is in the honorable mentions. The second honorable mention is George P. Wilbur in the Halloween 6 profile shot at the very end. Now, again, it's a profile shot. It's really not a full-on shot of his face. You just see like the outline, and it's pretty much in all black, so you can't really see a whole lot of it, but you do see a little bit of it, and I like that. I really do like that shot. It's quick, so it's you don't really, like I said, you don't get to see a whole lot, but still think it's pretty cool. So let's get into this list. I've got 9 altogether. Starting off at the very bottom of the barrel, number 9, Halloween 5 with the Don Shanks face reveal. Never been a fan of this. I absolutely hate the fact that he cries. It feels so unnecessary that he takes his mask off. I don't know. I mean, it's like they're kind of tapping into, him and Jamie have this connection. So I don't know. You do see his face earlier in the film as well. And that works for me much better because it's not very straight on, and it feels a little more aligned with like how they kind of utilize it in the Gordon Green trilogy, where it's not the central focus, but you can kind of still see his face in some moments throughout the film. But that shot of him where he takes the mask off and he cries, first off, it does not look like, the fact that he has no burns on his face has always bugged me. This is a direct sequel to Halloween 4. So you're going to just outright ignore the fact that he was completely bandaged up from being burned alive in Halloween 2. I mean, that is just egregious. But they do have, his hands are burned. So it's like, okay, you acknowledge that he was burned, but his face is perfectly fine. I mean, they don't even like address the hanger from Halloween 1, like in his eye, or obviously him getting shot in the eyes from Halloween 2, right? So, and I get that, but it's like, okay, he's got no burns. He has a full head of hair. I mean, come on. And then he cries. I mean, that kills me. So that's why it's at the very bottom for me. Number 8, Halloween 2, 2009. Now, the main reason, this is Tyler Mane here, who I do like as Michael Myers. I just don't like that you see his face so much throughout the film. I like that you see his face more. I think that's an interesting angle. I used to absolutely hate that. It used to really, really bother me, but I don't know, it's kind of grown on me. I just don't like the fact that there are scenes that just have he's just unmasked completely, and it's a straight shot of his face, and it doesn't work. Yeah, you know, obviously the one that I constantly think about is when he speaks and says die. I mean, it's just, I don't know, you know, it doesn't work for me seeing so much of his face. It kind of pulls you out of it to where it just really doesn't feel like a Halloween film. That's so much of, it's just ingrained in the DNA of the fact that Michael Myers should have mystique. There should be mystique there and mystery. And when you like remove all of that, it's less scary to me. It's less scary. It's less interesting, obviously. Got a full beard. I mean, he's, you know, which, I don't know. I get it. Never was a huge fan of the long hair. I mean, you know, that's just a Rob Zombie thing. He likes everyone to have long hair, I guess. I don't know. You know, that's kind of his thing, right? So, never was a big fan of the long hair. And I don't like the big full beard, really. You know, I wish it was a little more scraggly, like a little, you know, not quite. You can literally see it like under the mask at times. I don't know. Like I said, I like the fact that they, you know, show his face more, but I just don't like the fact that it's kind of a focus. Like you see his face so much throughout the film. So that's why it's towards the bottom for me. Number 7, Halloween 2007. Now, this one's better because you don't see as much of his face. You do a little bit, and obviously as a kid, but there's really no reveal because you just see him as a kid. So that's why I didn't put the young child Michael on the list from 2007, because it's really not a reveal. You just see his face throughout most of that first half of the film, right? As an adult, there's more of a real reveal. Like, he's hidden behind the masks that he makes, right, in the hospital. You really never see it until he reveals it to Laurie, Scout Taylor Compton. And it feels like it has more of an impact because you get the vibe, has done all of this for her. It feels, right? And when she rejects him, I think that is when he just snaps completely and is like, you know, fuck all of this, I'm gonna kill you too, right? But I feel like maybe he was kind of, you know, doing this all for her, right? So it feels like it has more of an impact, and I guess that's kind of why I like it more. I also like that he doesn't have the big full beard. Like I said, I'm not big on the long hair. It just never, in my opinion, has really fit into the, like, Michael Myers recipe, you know. I like things being changed, but, you know, long hair, I don't know, it just doesn't really work for me. So moving on to number 6, Halloween Ends. And, you know, I really like the design. I like how his hair has grown a little bit. It's obviously not long, right? But it makes sense because, you know, he's been like sequestered in this sewer, right? And, you know, Michael Myers is not going to go get a haircut or cut his hair, right? He is this being of evil that doesn't really adhere to our norm. So he's just kind of, it's just growing, right? And I like the fact that his beard, he has like a little bit of a beard, right? A little bit of facial hair, but, you know, it's like half of his face and it looks like all patchy, and I really like that look. It's just that, you know, you don't really see a whole lot of it. There's really not as much of a reveal. It's just kind of spread throughout, and that's good. It's just, it's not my favorite. I like the design. It's not my favorite design, even out of the Gordon Green trilogy. But but I do like it. I do enjoy it. So that's kind of why it's sort of middle of the pack for me. So number 5, Halloween Kills. Really like this design. Really like the burned aesthetic that he's got. His like eye is like just basically shut. You can't even open it anymore, right? Really like how sparingly it's used, but I like that it does actually have an impact. Like the scene where Karen like takes his mask and she runs into the street, and you see Michael in a one shot, kind of like in 2018, but he doesn't have his mask on, and he still legit looks like Michael Myers and feels like Michael Myers, and he's not even wearing his mask, right? Obviously, you know, you're mainly seeing him from the back, but I still think that that's quite an accomplishment to still feel like you're watching Michael Myers. He's not even wearing his mask. You know, I think that that's pretty cool. So, like I said, love the burned aesthetic. I really do like, you know, it has like a rougher, meaner aesthetic, and that fits the film. You know, this is obviously the meanest film out of the 3, in my opinion. And that's why I love aspects of it. Wouldn't say I really love it in its entirety, but I like how vicious it is, right? And his visual aesthetic really fits that tone. So, number 4, Halloween 2018. I really like this one because you really get that direct connection to 78 with the eye, right? And then he has a scar on his neck from the hanger, right? Really like that attention to detail. And the reason it has the leg up on Kills is because you can't really see those things in Kills. He's obviously sustained more damage, and so those scars have kind of been covered up by new scars, right? But I really do like those connections, and I like how old he looks, but he still looks like dangerous. You know, he doesn't look like a decrepit old man. I like the look. I really like the direction they went with that. So, moving on to number 3, Halloween 2, 1981. Now, you may be thinking, what are you talking about? It's a scene where I guess it's essentially a dream sequence, but you get a young Michael, and, you know, when Laurie goes to visit him in the hospital in this dream sequence, he turns around in his chair, and I really like that scene because, again, it really fits that film. Halloween 2, 1981 Halloween 2, Michael is very dark in that film, very dark and sadistic, and the look that he has on his face fits that tone. He is more evil in this film, and I really have always enjoyed that shot. It feels more evil than even the kid from the TV cut of the 78 Halloween. Really like that shot. That is why it is at number 3. Number 2, Tony Moran from Halloween 1978. He is what I visualize as adult Michael Myers. He's always been what I think of as being the definitive, like, unmasked Michael. I like the look. I really like how he, again, feels unassuming. He feels like a normal guy, and that is what makes it all the more scary because he's so typical, right? But he has like a physical presence, and he has a mean, like, evil energy to him, while also just feeling very typical, normal, and unassuming. And that is what really makes an impact for me. So, number 2, Tony Moran. Number 1, Halloween 1978, Will Sandin, the kid in the very opening, has always had a major impact on me. Like, when you first see that film and they pull the mask off and it's just this kid, it's like so creepy and just shocking because he's an average, normal looking kid, not You would, no red flags. You would never think that this kid was gonna just go murder his sister, right? Love like everything about it. I really feel that packs such a punch and it makes such an impact, because it's so shocking, that reveal. So that is why it is at number 1 for me. I love talking about Halloween. I love doing these rankings. Let me know if there's anything else that you guys want to see, any other rankings that you guys want to see. Let me know in the comments, what would your favorite reveals be? What are your least favorite reveals? Let me know about that as well. Stay tuned for more. That's it for now. Thanks, guys.